Wise Coffee Chat Show. We're super excited to be here today. So, you are with us. I'm excited for the guest. If you want to learn more about me, I'm a real estate investor. I'm also the director of career services at Illinois Media School. I also have Women's Institute of Self-Development and Efficacy, WISE for short. Also have a wisealliancenetwork.com so you can learn more about me and everything that I do there. And I'm a mom of three beautiful girls. So I got to start shouting out my children. I keep forgetting to shout out my kids. And then I'll pass it over to my guest. So Mayra, who are you? Can you introduce yourself, please?
Good morning, everyone. Buenos dias, buenos dias. My name is Mayra Medina. On my social media, you may know me as Oh My Mayra, double A at the end. I am a content creator in Chicago and founder of the Content House. It's a social media marketing agency and community.
Wow, that's super awesome. So we're super excited to have you here, Mayra. Tell us what you're drinking this morning. How do you like your coffee?
I like my coffee black, so I'm drinking black coffee today.
No sugar, nothing?
No sugar,
Oh,
nothing.
really? Another one. Okay. So we like black coffee. I actually threw sugar in my coffee just because I wanted something sweet this morning, but typically I love black coffee as well. Where's your favorite black coffee from?
I shop around, but I do love Cafe Bustelo. It's just like the traditional one. Gives me that espresso feeling too. I do like Arabic coffee too, so I
Do
purchase a
you?
lot of Arabic coffee from different places.
Oh, that's unique. Arabic coffee. Usually I drink Turkish coffee. Is there something similar?
It's similar. I think the
Yeah.
Turkish, the grounds is a little different.
I have my team here below. I was like, yes, it's the
Yes,
same.
it's the same.
That's awesome.
Yes.
So before we go into, tell us a little bit about the company that you run. And I know you're social media. I met you at an event. We met at, I forget what the event was called. It was at the Lyric Opera House, right? And I had you a little bit on the show then to learn a little bit about you. But tell us a little bit about the name of your company and how you got started in that.
Yes, we met at Chingonas y Poderosas event, and it was such a great experience. What these women are creating, the space for women to have a moment to just shine. It was beautiful. I was one of the speakers at this event.
Oh, yes. I was a moderator. Yes, I remember.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I loved it because I got to connect with women and share my story. So I started content creation after trial and error of different fields that I was in. I was in healthcare before, I was real estate before, and I did marketing. At one point, I wanted to do a creative aspect and just shine that through. And I was like, okay, what else can I do besides record myself? And so I started to become a content creator. I started with beauty. So I love beauty products. I was always just being a model behind the camera. And after meeting with different people in Chicago, they were like, okay, I do this type of content and I do this type of content. So that just got my mind to see what else I can do and challenge myself and just put myself out there. And over the time, I've been a Chicago foodie, I've been a Chicago experiences, and now I am a leader of a community, which I love. This is what something that has transformed into a business. And greater than that, it's just a community as well.
Wow. So we love that you're with us on the Wise Coffee Chat Show on WRMN 1410. But I also am excited because the students are going to be super excited to just learn more about you because I think a lot of times, especially like at Illinois Media School, a lot of our students, they want to become content creators. They want to be the next influencers. Like, how do I build my social media? And then a lot of my followers too on social media, a lot of people that I'm connected with, they're always asking me, well, how do I build my social media brand, my social media presence? How do I get more followers? And I think that's always been one of the how do you do it? And I remember something that you told me when I met you at the Lyric Opera that I thought to myself, and I came back the next day at school and I told my students, I was like, an influencer told me that she posts 3 reels a day. So tell us a little bit about how you figured out the formula to build your following to what it is now.
Yes. So I don't believe there's an actual formula. I just believe that there is strategy. You have to have a strategy of what you want to do, and you have to be consistent. And I think that is the hardest part, to stay consistent. because of my entrepreneur skills, I was able to use some of those skills in content creation to know when to pivot, to know when to stay consistent, to know how to evolve also on social media. And I think those skills is what helped me be more successful.
Wow, I love that. So there is no formula. You just were out there, just posting. But for you yourself, do you have a strategy? I'm assuming you said you did some marketing. So you have to have a strategy, right?
Yes, I think it's just creating with intention. When I meet with my clients, I do want to understand what their brand is or what their business is to create content around that, create something that is going to grow with time. When you think about content, people immediately think that if you post something today, that you want people's reaction immediately. You're like, I need 100 likes to feel like this is actually good content. But some of my posts have been from years of like, I posted maybe 2 years ago something that nobody liked that now has over 5,000 likes, you know?
Wow.
So I always think that as long as you're creating content that represents your brand, your purpose, something with intention, it's always going to end up working itself out.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So you're saying something. How long have you been building your content again? How many years?
So when I decided to take content creation seriously, it's been 2 years. Actually, just December, I it's my 2 year
Oh,
anniversary.
congrats.
Thank you. And creating the content house has been 6 months.
Oh, okay. So it's a newer company that you've been focusing more on building other brands, correct?
Yes. Before I was doing content creation for brands, for businesses, clients, marketing for them. But when I decided to do it for myself, it's been 2 years in the journey. And then I started to create the business for everybody, a community in the last 6 months.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's pretty cool that you've been doing that. So what is your focus when it comes, so you're saying like when you work with clients, you want to figure out their brands. What do you kind of like once you figure out a company's brand and you're like, "Oh, this is cool. This is what there is." Then how do you come up with the strategy after that for them?
I have a strategy that I follow, that I share with the content and the owners. And it's just basically revolving about who their audience is, the message they're trying to do. I always believe that when you're trying to create content, whoever is viewing the content, you want to make sure the message that you're trying to send, but also how they're going to feel towards this content that you're making. So it does consist of I call it a 4C formula.
4C formula. Okay.
Yes. So it just simplifies things into making sure that you're hitting those keynotes.
Okay, that sounds great. I love that you're sharing this with us. I'm sure anyone that's watching is going to enjoy this as well. So I know that you were in marketing, you were in real estate, and you were in healthcare. So is this your favorite right now so far?
Yes.
Or do you
Yes.
miss any other career path?
I love this because I get to incorporate all those skills into this that I'm doing. And it's crazy because my clients are doctors as well. So I'm still doing healthcare, you know. Some of my clients are in business owners or marketing, they're publicists. So I'm still in that field.
I love that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick short break, but when we come back, we're going to learn more about Maida and how she got to where she's at in the social media content influencer world. So stay tuned. Don't touch that dial.
En audio. En audio.
We're back live on the Wise Coffee Chat Show. You are listening to us right now. Did you write back? Did you make sure you write that message to the studio? Okay, so super excited because we're gonna get to learn more from Maida, and she's here. She's a content creator, influencer, and we have her on WRMN 1410 on the Wise Coffee Chat Show. And if you'd like to learn more about me, go to wisealliancenetwork.com to learn more about me. And if you want to learn more about WRMN 1410, go to WRMN1410.com. But we're super excited because she was telling us about the transition. I want to understand the transition because you've done so many things already. You were, like you said, in all these career paths, and then you're like, I'm gonna be an influencer. So like what was the inspiration and the because not everyone can be an influencer. It's not easy. It's like, what's the percentage of someone becoming an influencer? Do you know?
I don't know the percentage, but I know it's definitely not easy and it's not for everybody. So I know that for sure. I just, the more that I can say is just having moments where you in life have to really think about what is your purpose and what you truly love to do. So I've always been a person that I love being on the camera, love taking pictures, and I love being an entrepreneur. So starting something new or being someone else, it was no question for me. I was like, I can do healthcare. I can be doing this the next day or doing that the next day. It was always that mindset to think outside the box and contribute as much as I can. But when I became a person that was like, okay, I'm going to step out and put myself in front of the camera, it was one of the most terrifying things I've done in my life. And however, it's one of the things that has built me the most.
Really? So it he says the most terrifying? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay, tell us a little bit. Why was it? Now I'm curious, right? Because I put a lot of content on social media. A lot of people here in the school put content on social media, right? What was the scariest thing? And I want to talk about this because I think a lot of times we overthink. So I'm kind of assuming what it might be, but what was the scariest thing for you when it came to building your brand and becoming an influencer online?
Immediately the question I had was like, what are people going to think of me? Did not fit the image that I would see other influencers be.
Oh, that's
And
good.
I was like, oh my God, can I do this? And so I had to shut everything else around me off and not look or compare myself to other people and just focus truly in who I was and try to build my community around who I really am and what I want to do.
I love that because it is, I think even myself when I started putting videos on social media, I was I remember I was shaking. I think if I
Mhm.
remember correctly, right? And I tell it all the time now, the students like project, speak out loud, like be confident, make eye contact, like the way I kind of coach them now, kind of how I was coached when it came to public speaking, especially, right? Or because I truly believe that stuff like this, you have to have good public speaking skills to put yourself on videos and put yourself on social media and do radio. This is still public speaking, right? And I know that the first video I did was back in like 2017, and I got to look for it. I remember I was like scared and my voice was softer. And I remember just like being nervous, right? So it's like, I also thought the same thing like, man, people are going to make fun of me. They're going to ridicule me. They're going to say things about me. Like, who am I to even come on here and talk about I'm an expert in XYZ, whatever I was talking about at that time, right? So I know that that was one of my fears. I was curious what was one of your fears when you started doing this, and you're saying you were just like you were nervous because of what you saw already out there, right?
Yes, I was just nervous to put myself publicly. All the time that I was creating content, it was just my personal viewing, and just putting myself publicly. I knew that people were going to judge me, and if I needed to have a tough skin to deal with that judgment and how I can navigate that. I know when I told my family immediately, they were like, please don't do that. They're like, Mara, at this point, you have tried every different career path that you can imagine. We do not want to see you on social media. But I had to follow my own path and stay true to myself. And I think that's entrepreneurship skills too. It's something delusional. It's a crazy idea. But if it makes sense to do to you, you just have to stick through that. And so,
Okay, that's good. I like that you said entrepreneurship. So you feel like
mhm,
this is part of entrepreneurship.
absolutely.
So tell us a little bit more why, especially because I think a lot of people feel like, oh, I'm just going to become an influencer, put content out there, and I'll get money, and people will send me stuff. Like, why do you? And I just saying this so people that are watching or listening would understand. Why do you feel like being an influencer is entrepreneurship?
I think just knowing what an entrepreneur is, it's someone who believes in themselves so much regardless what other people think, and they go after their dreams. So when you're a content creator, you are thinking the impossible. You are thinking delusional thoughts, and you are thinking of putting yourself in places or situations that are going to test you in every single way and aspect in your creativity and your comfort level, and going after it because you believe in creating either art or creating another income or just creating a community or a different purpose, like creating um what I call now is the impact.
Creating art. This is create. So like I know there's people out there like influence. You have influencers that are workout influencers, right? You got influencers that are fashion, influencers or beauty influencers, right? Or you have people that are in business that are talking about entrepreneurship or mindset, right? Where do you feel like you fall in that mix?
All of them. So when I first started, I started with just beauty. And I remember staying in this little niche and people telling me, oh, you have to pick a niche. So I would just only do skincare, only do beauty products. And at one point, I was like, well, I like to do other things. I like to experience restaurants. So I started going to foodie events, and I like to maybe share background
I love food
information.
events too.
Yes, coffee places, lots of coffee shops, different experiences in Chicago. And other than that, it's just really building a community to teaching people who were in business of how to show up online. So that's where I developed the content house.
Oh, very nice. I love the fact that I mean, it's something scary, and you took a big, bold step and you said, I'm going to do this, even though in your family didn't want you to do this at all, right? Because it's like, I can imagine, especially in like Hispanic homes, right? Oh, mom, I'm going to be a content creator. And then they're like, what are you talking about? Go get a job, And I think most of the time, anyone that's like an entrepreneur starting any business and you say, I'm going to do this, most people are like, you're crazy. The mind of like stability. You need a 9 to 5, the traditional, right?
Yes.
So that's kind of what you experienced. Your parents were like, you're nuts.
Absolutely. I think my family was more afraid of just seeing me online because I've always been this vibrant person at home, and they're like, please don't do this in public.
Oh, so they were just more modest or they're more conservative. Okay.
Yes. And then when I started to post my funny videos, they're like, oh my God, Myra's doing it.
Oh, you're putting it. You know what? And I've seen some of your content. I think it's very cute. I think it's tasteful. I don't see it. It's people love it. People love what you're posting. So I think it's great. There's a following for everything. You'd be surprised when you put content out there, right? And I'm sure you know. So what we're gonna do real quick is we're gonna take a short break. We'll be right back, and we'll continue talking with Mayra some more about what she's planning on doing. So make sure you guys stay tuned.
In audio. In audio.
back. Super excited. We've been talking about content creation. You are watching the Wise Coffee Chat Show on WRMN 1410, and you're listening to the Wise Coffee Chat Show on WRMN 1410. But we have here Mayra, and I'm enjoying the conversation because she's social media, she's a content creator, she's an influencer. And you've been doing this for 2 years, your own content creation, correct?
Yes.
And then you've been actually as an entrepreneur doing it for other brands and businesses for the last 6 months. How exciting is that?
It's so exciting. I think that this is like the best uh I would say like business to be in right now because it's always growing. You're always surrounded by different people who are passionate. And just being around with people with passion makes me very excited to keep going. I'm very thrilled to want to collaborate with people and keep growing as well.
So tell me, like, when did you know? Because how many followers you have on is it 20K on Insta?
On Insta, I believe it's 16.4.
16.4. And then what other social media platforms are you very active on?
Mostly my Instagram is the one that I'm most active. I do have TikTok, but it's under like 5,000 followers. I have YouTube, but it's under like 100 followers. I focus mostly on Instagram.
Listen, at even at those numbers, that's amazing, right? Because I think a lot of times people be like, "Oh, you need 100, 200, 300, whatever thousand followers." And yes, the more followers, the better, but you can still make a good killing and a good amount of money and get clients and get exposure with less. Like it doesn't and I've learned this over the years, just what is it? Quantity is not quality.
Mhm.
But if you have a solid following, even if it's 5,000, 2,000, but they're like on you religiously and they tune in and they support. And anytime you say, "Hey, I'm going to have this event," and then 20 people, 100 people show up, like I know if I put an event out there with my following, I'll get people to show up. Like I'm not worried. The last event I did, I don't know if you saw, I did a cafeton event and I put it, some of my guys were there, and I put it out there, and I remember the restaurant was like, "You haven't promoted it yet, Jennifer. Are you sure we're gonna have enough people show up?" It's like, I got it. Trust me, they'll show up. I'm not worried at all. And
Yes.
I had over 75 people show up, and I posted it within a week. It was a week.
Mhm.
Now, is that good marketing? Probably not. I probably should have given myself a lot more time. But I know that once you have a solid following, the numbers really they matter, but in that type of in that sense, it didn't, right? Or what are your thoughts since you also have been doing this?
Absolutely. Even when I first started, I told myself, do not get discouraged. If there's only one follower that I have, I am committed to this one
Oh
follower.
wow, I love that.
And over time, I built such a great following and community here in
Are you
Chicago
guys taking notes?
that I love my community here. And like you said, maybe it's like 500, but you host an event and 40 of them come and they're your followers, your friends, they're your clients.
Yep.
It's just like a full circle moment. So I definitely agree with that.
And it's as long as it's solid, right? And
Mhm.
they're like there and they're liking your stuff and you influence and like something as simple as like, and I know you probably really do this a lot because you're more in the beauty and all that, but you say you do everything. But like I'll put a picture up and I'll be like, "Where'd you buy that skirt from?" I'm like, "Oh, here's the link, give me some
Yes.
residual." I'll send you a link
Yes.
from Amazon. But I'm not even intentionally doing it, it's just people will watch your stuff. So I've said this, I had someone follow me for 8 straight years on social media.
Wow.
And it's kind of crazy because I talked to her not too long ago, sweet woman, and she was like, "I saw everything, Jennifer, from when you started your business, from when you went to your divorce, from when you had your second child." And she's telling me my life. And I was like, "This is bizarre that you are just regurgitating everything that you've seen within the last 8 years of my life." And that's just how people follow you. They're just religiously following you. It's
Mhm.
amazing.
Yes, that I have the same experience as well, where I started to know that people were watching my content now because I would go to either like a local restaurant where I created a food video or review, and people approach me, I saw your video and I went to that restaurant. Thank you for promoting it. Or, hey, I'm not a content creator, but I'm a content supporter and I support you. And I'm like, oh my
Oh,
God, thank you so
that's
much.
really cool.
So it's been such a beautiful, I always say I'm blessed, so blessed for having this opportunity.
I love that. So what would be like your biggest tip? Give us like two big tips that you would share. And just for like someone that's just starting out and they're like, "Man, I want to build content." What would you be your two biggest things that you would tell them to start doing with that?
I would say to take a moment and really reflect of who you are and if you're ready to step into this, because it's not just creating content, it's also being ready to be in this space. I think anyone has a story. I talk to clients all the time, or creators, or just people who may be interested in creating content, and they tell me, I just don't know how to show up online. I'm lost and confused. I'm like, okay, well, why do you want to do this? Right. And so just finding if you are willing to put yourself out there. If you don't want to put yourself out there, you just want to be behind the scenes, there's so many things that you can do with content as well nowadays. And the other thing is, after you determine that, would just be find a support group or a community to stay consistent, to stay in the loop of what is happening around you, build support. And content creation can get very discouraging. I think it takes a lot of somebody to say, okay, today I want to create content, if you are not in that mindset. So meeting with other people who are already creating
I
content
love that what you're saying right now.
helps so much. And that's why I'm building this community so people can meet, network, and
I
collaborate.
love that because you know what? I say this all the time. People are like, I don't think about this. Like, you have to be on. And I know you get it. You have to be on all the time, meaning this is great content. Let me shoot. All the time, and it's almost like I don't wanna say an obsession, but it's just always in the forefront. You have to be always willing to jump on, create content, make a video. "Oh, this is great footage. Let me shoot right now," right? It's a little annoying. Now, how do you find the time to edit? Now that's the see, and I love that what you said that there's other roles. You could be editors, you could be camera operators, you can create the actual content, not necessarily be the face of the content, right? So how do you find time to edit? That's now because sometimes I find myself like 3 videos a day. Oh, CapCut. I'm sitting there like editing. Like, how do you do that?
At first, I would edit every single day and I would get burnout. So I ended up just developing, either picking one day a week. And I said, okay, this day a week, I am going to start editing all my videos. So if throughout the week I was taking pictures or recording, I would just leave it in a storage, pick one day a week if it was a Tuesday, and then that day dedicate at least 3 to 4 hours of just editing everything,
Wow.
taking a break to, like, self-soothe your mind away from it, then coming back to it and finishing the editing. And I feel like that has worked the
I
most.
love that tip. One full day. Just dedicate one day out of your week just for editing.
Mhm.
Which I mean, we get it. We get it a lot, dedicating, especially so you do mainly reels. Is that what you focus on your social media?
I love photography too.
Okay.
So I first, when I was creating photos or content, it was just photos of my outfits. And people would tell me, why are you not posting this publicly? And I was like, oh, it's just for me because I like how the outfit looks. They're like, no, post it publicly and tag every person, like you said earlier, like tag who bought, where you bought this dress and things like that. So that's how I started. But I do like photography. I love making reels as well.
Yeah, you do. So it's funny because I can go back. I have at least a good 10 reels I could put up on social media, like right now, but I haven't even found the time to edit. And I have some cool spaces I've gone to, and I'm sitting there like, oh, Jennifer, find the time to edit this reel. You need to get this out there so people can see it. Um, so I love that you're saying that because it's true. Once you're on now, you just got to find to edit the content or find help, right, to edit
Mhm.
the content too. I'm sure there's plenty of people out there, but I think it's different when you're the content creator. You have a vision. in your mind and you do specific shots, right? So you want to edit it a certain way because that's why you got that shot the way you got the shot. Sometimes people don't know what's in your brain. So it's sometimes I could see that being a little bit difficult. So now that you're doing what you're doing, helping businesses build their own brands, then what are the next steps for Maida and what are you looking to start doing for your community, your followers, and all that stuff?
Absolutely. So I have two locations now. The content has two creative hubs. One of them is in Southside Chicago. It's called Effortless Look Headquarters. The other location is in Munster, Indiana at Sweet Lux. With these two locations, we are hosting creator nights for anyone who is interested in content creation and meeting or networking creatives, entrepreneurs, business owners, you're welcome to come to these places. The links are always in my bio. I will be posting more as they develop. But these are going to be communities here in Chicago, and I really want us to get Chicago on the social map.
So are you looking to bring in more creators together? Is this going to be kind of like a community for creators where you teach more stuff for creators? Is that kind of the vision or you just anyone?
It's mostly aimed for people who want to create content or want to learn about content because they are going to be information of workshops, collaborations, brands, and even businesses who are looking for maybe a content creator or someone to come and help them with social media. This is an opportunity for them to also collaborate with other people. With content creation, it's such a huge space that I personally cannot help everybody
No,
as much as I want. So I would like to teach my community to help each other so then we can all continue to grow.
I love that. I think I would love to go to one of those and then even bring some students with me
Yes.
that want to go and kind of learn and be around being around creatives, man. Like I'm just gonna say that because being here like at Illinois Media School, I shut off the creativity for a little bit because
Mhm.
I know how to do all of this stuff, right? Creating content. When I started teaching back in March here, and I started being around all the students and being all the around all the creators and watching their work, it was like it made me want to create more content. It made me like, oh my God, it inspired me again. So I could see why having a community for content creation or content creators is so inspirational because it's just gonna make you continue to do things and hold you accountable, make and challenge you. Like if they could do it, I could do it, right? That's kind of is that kind of the thought process behind it, or even more, you just want to put Chicago on the map?
Yes, absolutely. Just getting people more involved in content creation and social media, growing their presence and opportunities. I think that many people don't think that social media can create career opportunities and it can.
Yeah, all my clients have always came through social media. Honestly, social media or like regular guerrilla marketing of just being out there networking, putting flyers out, right? That's
Mm.
usually typically how anytime I've ever worked with anyone in any capacity, it's social media. And I my cup of tea is Facebook. Right? Facebook has always been my playground because I've been on it for so many years. I'm older, guys. I'm a lot older. But now I'm building the Instagram side, but Facebook has been my thing, my area. So you love Instagram, and you're building your TikTok right now, right? And I get what you're saying. Like sometimes you put something out there and you're like, this is gonna get so many hits and so many views and so many people are gonna like it. And it's like, womp, it didn't do anything on social.
Yes.
But I like that you said years later you might get some likes and some follows, right?
Yes, absolutely. And every platform is different. So maybe understanding each platform, how they work, and where your people are following you the most. I stay
Okay.
true to my Instagram because that's where my people follow me the most. However, TikTok is new to me. I'm learning the ropes of it. I have more fun in TikTok. So
Yeah, that's fine.
it's definitely fun content.
It baffles me when I see a social media like content and it's someone drawing and then they have like 500 viewers as
Mhm.
someone's just sitting there and drawing. The person's
Yes.
not talking, the person's not doing anything. They're literally live and people are just watching them. Or like
Mhm.
I do enjoy watching like the DJs that they're just, doing their thing and they're just playing their music in their room,
Yes.
And I sit there like, wow, there's content for everybody. Don't laugh at me. I was watching like fishermen. This is the weirdest. I don't know how I got. You guys are gonna laugh. Okay, I started following like guys that like fish and want to catch like weird fishes. So it was actually really interesting because I didn't even think like there's a community for this. But then I started watching his videos, like, we're gonna catch a great white shark today. And then he's out there in his boat and looking for the shark in the middle of the night. And it's all like he's excited. But then I saw all the brands he aligned himself with affiliates. So
Mhm.
it was like the this pro shop, Bass Pro Shop, partnered with him, and then this type of fishing pole company partnered with him. I was
Mhm.
like, man, he found his niche and just kept building on that niche, and it was looking for weird fish. I
Yes.
don't even remember the YouTuber's name, but for there, I sat at least a good 2 hours watching his videos.
Yes, it's like that. One of my favorite stories I tell is about this older gentleman. He would go to restaurants and play songs when people are at the restaurant, right? And me being a foodie, he came and approached me. He's like, "Oh, I charge $25 a song, and I will sing you a song." And I was like, "How about you sing the public a song? I go live, and then whatever you commission you get to take home. Let's just test it out." He was like, "Okay, let's do it." Till now, he's on TikTok. He doesn't go to restaurants anymore. All he does is just goes live to sing songs online. And he's an older gentleman. Sometimes he's like, "Let me fix my glasses," but he's so adorable. I think that people love him, can connect with him. And just having that feeling that you don't have to go to a restaurant as well to listen to live music. You can listen to it live when he goes live every day.
Oh, that's super cool. And you helped him. That's so cool, right? That's actually really inspirational. I guess anyone can create content. You just have to trust yourself, throw yourself out there, and hope that whatever you put out there, someone's going to like it,
Yes.
you know? And I'm sure there's so many creative things that we could put out there, right? I mean, you remember the trend of like the slime, right? Kids that
Oh,
love the
yes.
slime trends, right?
Mhm.
At one point everyone loved that. I don't know, what do guys like? What do guys follow on social media? Sports. Oh, duh.
Sports.
The all the guys here are like sports. Okay. I don't follow sports, so I can't, but I get that. Like, so guys follow sports. But there's the food stuff, right? I at one point just going to restaurants and recording food. That's, to me, that's all fun and it makes me hungry. So I love food anyways in general. But
Yes.
what other advice would you give, especially for someone that might be struggling with their social media presence? Maybe they're like, I am doing it, I haven't figured out my niche, I go on live, I haven't been getting the likes that I want. What would you tell someone like that?
Find someone that inspires you, whether it's a mentor, a coach, or someone you follow online, and get fueled by that inspiration.
So do you mean like mimic the person almost in a sense, or is it just like follow their content and get inspired by them?
I would say always find your own voice, your own authenticity online, but follow someone that inspires you. Maybe you would like to watch this type of content, and that's how you develop what your niche could start off. I have friends who have told me, I follow this workout person because it motivates me to go to the gym. And I was like, oh, yeah, me too. I need that motivation.
Yeah, that's true.
And I was like, I'm not going to create gym content, but it motivates me to go to the gym. So, whatever inspires you or motivates you, find those people online. If you want to become a creator for beauty, follow people who create content for beauty.
Yeah, I love that. It's, of course, that makes sense, right? So if you're trying to create sports content, I would assume you guys are going to follow guys that are creating sports content, right? That's awesome. So you got what are the events called again? The content house? I'm sorry, apologize. What is it called again?
Yes. So the content house is going to be having creator nights,
Okay.
and those creator nights are Wednesday nights, Friday nights, depending on the location. There are different dates.
Okay.
And also starting January, this is something very new. I have developed a new workshop called the CEO Content Day. So the CEO Content Day brings together the entrepreneur side with content creation. We are hosting a day of creating content with women who are bringing their entrepreneur skills too
Oh, very
and creating
nice.
content as well, because I do believe that there is a good line with both of them cross and those skills can be applied.
Well, yeah, I mean, the reality is creating content. I always say it should funnel into something else. You should be selling something, promoting something, doing something. Don't just
Mhm.
create content in hopes that you get affiliates and maybe like I was showing, I forgot who I was showing, but like I created a an Amazon. You can create links so that when you buy things and you promote products or promote clothing, or I even promote books. So like if I'm promoting a book and I put a link, it's usually tracked by Amazon and then I'll get a kickback when someone buys it, right? So it's like always have something that you can sell when you're posting, because if people are following you, then you're like, hey, I got this great thing that I'm gonna start, like a networking event or a workshop, or I've always been like, I got a retreat coming up. Oh, when is, they want to sign up. Oh, I got a conference, or I'm going to launch a book. People are ready, like, where can I purchase, where can I, because people want to feel more connected to you. Like they want to feel more connected to whoever they're following. So if there's opportunities to support or show up or meet you, they'll do it. And that's what I love about social media. I mean, I don't know how old you are, but I've been around social media before it even became what it is now.
Yes.
MySpace. I don't know. Anyone remember MySpace?
I had a MySpace.
You had a
I had a
MySpace?
MySpace.
MySpace? No, look, I see a no over there. Do you remember Latino Planet or Black Planet? Do you remember any
No,
of
no.
those? Oh, okay, there we go. We got. Oh no, he's just saying 2 minutes. I'm like, oh, he remembers Black Planet. He remembers. He's my. I think he's closer to my age. Or even what's the other one? Or even Yahoo, right? ASL, age, sex, location. You would go in those little chat rooms and just talk to people. Like, you don't remember that?
I don't remember those.
Okay, then I
MySpace, I do. MySpace.
MySpace. Well, this has been a great conversation. Thank you, Mayra, for being here. If they want to reach out to you, where would they go to reach out to you?
Yes, thank you, Jennifer. So you can find me at the Content House that shy or Oh My Myra. It's OHMYMAI double A at the end.
Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you so much for watching the Wise Coffee Chat Show on WRMN 1410. Stay tuned next week. We're going to keep having great guests. You guys have amazing rest of your week. God bless.
In audio.
Bye.